In the iconic 1983 film War Games, a young hacker accidentally triggers a simulated nuclear war that nearly becomes reality. While the movie's technology may seem quaint by today's standards, its central message about the catastrophic potential of nuclear conflict remains chillingly relevant. As 2024 continues to unfold and 2025 looms on the horizon, experts are sounding the alarm about the very real and evolving threat of nuclear war. Their warnings paint a picture far more terrifying than any Hollywood production could capture, reminding us that the specter of nuclear annihilation continues to loom over our world. The current nuclear landscape. As 2024 unfolds amidst the backdrop of devastating conflicts in Gaza, Palestine, and Russia, Ukraine, alongside a series of catastrophic natural disasters, the global nuclear landscape adds another layer of complexity and volatility to an already tumultuous year. 9 countries continue to possess nuclear weapons: the United States, Russia, China, France, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea, further complicating the geopolitical tensions in this crisis-ridden world. Collectively, these nations hold an estimated 13,000 nuclear warheads, with Russia and the United States accounting for over 90% of this arsenal. The concept of mutually assured destruction, MADE, has long been the cornerstone of nuclear deterrence. However, evolving geopolitical tensions, technological advancements, and the emergence of new nuclear powers have begun to erode the stability this doctrine once provided. Experts warn that we are entering a new era of nuclear risk, one where the likelihood of intentional or accidental nuclear conflict is higher than it has been in decades. The anatomy of a modern nuclear exchange. To understand the potential impact of a nuclear war in 2024, we need to examine how such a conflict might unfold. Experts describe a terrifyingly rapid sequence of events that could lead to global catastrophe in a matter of hours. The initial phase of a nuclear exchange would likely begin with a misunderstanding, miscalculation, or a deliberate act of aggression. Given the current state of early warning systems and launch-on-warning policies, the window for decision-making in a perceived nuclear attack is perilously small, often less than 10 minutes. Once the first missiles are launched, the response would be almost immediate. Submarine-launched ballistic missiles could reach their targets in as little as 10-15 minutes, while intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, would take about 30 minutes to reach their destinations. The first targets would likely be military installations, command and control centers, and nuclear launch facilities. However, major cities would also be prime targets, both for their strategic importance and to cripple the enemy's ability to recover post-war. The immediate aftermath. The immediate effects of nuclear detonations would be catastrophic beyond comprehension. Let's consider the impact of a single 1-megaton warhead on a major city. A blinding flash would precede a fireball expanding to nearly a mile in diameter. Within this zone, temperatures would reach tens of millions of degrees Celsius, instantly vaporizing everything and everyone. A devastating shockwave would follow, flattening buildings and creating hurricane-force winds up to several miles from ground zero. A high-altitude nuclear detonation could create an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, capable of disabling electronic devices and power grids across an entire continent. Lethal levels of radiation would spread downwind, causing immediate deaths and long-term health effects for survivors. In a full-scale nuclear exchange, these effects would be multiplied across hundreds or even thousands of detonation sites worldwide. Beyond the blast, nuclear winter. As horrific as the immediate effects of nuclear war would be, experts warn that the long-term consequences could be even more devastating. The concept of nuclear winter has gained renewed attention in recent years, with updated climate models providing a clearer picture of this potential global catastrophe. Here's how nuclear winter could unfold. Nuclear explosions would ignite massive firestorms in urban and industrial areas. These fires would loft millions of tons of black carbon smoke and soot into the upper atmosphere. The smoke would block out sunlight, causing global temperatures to plummet by as much as 20 degrees Celsius, 36 degrees Fahrenheit, in some areas. The dramatic cooling would lead to crop failures and a global famine. The nuclear explosions and fires would also deplete the ozone layer, increasing UV radiation reaching the Earth's surface. Recent studies suggest that even a limited nuclear war involving just 100 Hiroshima-sized bombs could trigger a nuclear winter, potentially leading to over 2 billion deaths from famine alone. The human cost, the toll of a nuclear war in 2024, would be unimaginable. Immediate deaths from blast, thermal radiation, and fallout could number in the hundreds of millions. Survivors would face a world of collapsed infrastructure, scarce resources, and environmental devastation. Healthcare systems would be overwhelmed, unable to cope with the massive number of injured and radiation-exposed individuals. Psychological trauma would be widespread, with survivors grappling with the loss of loved ones, homes, and entire ways of life. In the longer term, increased cancer rates, genetic mutations, and other health issues would plague survivors and their descendants for generations. Technological factors, increasing nuclear risk. As we move further into the 21st century, several technological developments are amplifying the risk of nuclear conflict. The increasing digitization of nuclear command and control systems makes them potentially vulnerable to cyber attacks, raising the risk of false alarms or unauthorized launches. The integration of AI into military decision-making processes could lead to faster escalation in crisis situations, potentially outpacing human judgment. Hypersonic weapons, which are ultra-fast, maneuverable missiles, could reduce warning times and complicate defense calculations. The militarization of space introduces new vulnerabilities and potential flashpoints for conflict. Efforts to prevent nuclear war. Despite the grim scenarios outlined above, it's crucial to remember that nuclear war is not inevitable. Numerous efforts are underway to reduce nuclear risks and work towards disarmament. Arms control treaties like New START between the U.S. and Russia aim to limit nuclear arsenals. The global community continues to work to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons to additional countries through non-proliferation efforts. Risk reduction measures seek to improve communication and reduce the risk of misunderstandings between nuclear powers. Organizations like the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, ICAN, advocate for a world free of nuclear weapons. Educating the public about the continued threat of nuclear war is crucial for maintaining pressure on governments to pursue disarmament. Nuclear near misses and lessons for the future. As we contemplate the terrifying potential of nuclear war in 2024, it's crucial to look back at the history of nuclear weapons and the moments when the world teetered on the brink of annihilation. These historical near misses offer valuable lessons that can inform our approach to nuclear risks today and in the future. The dawn of the nuclear age arrived with devastating force on August 6, 1945, when the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan, followed by another on Nagasaki 3 days later. These remain the only instances of nuclear weapons used in warfare, resulting in an estimated 129,000 to 226,000 deaths. The immense destruction wrought by these relatively small bombs, by today's standards, shocked the world and ushered in the era of nuclear deterrence. Throughout the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a nuclear arms race, building ever more powerful weapons and delivery systems. This period saw several moments when nuclear war seemed imminent. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 is perhaps the most well-known, where for 13 days the world held its breath as the two superpowers faced off over Soviet missiles in Cuba. Less known but equally dangerous was the Able Archer incident in 1983, where a NATO wargame was misinterpreted by the Soviets as preparation for a real attack, nearly triggering a nuclear response. These high-profile incidents weren't the only close calls. Numerous technical glitches and human errors have brought us perilously close to accidental nuclear war. In 1979, a training tape simulating a Soviet attack was mistakenly played at NORAD, leading to a scrambling of U.S. nuclear forces. In 1983, Soviet early warning systems falsely detected incoming U.S. missiles, but disaster was averted thanks to the judgment of duty officer Stanislav Petrov, who correctly identified it as a false alarm. What can we learn from this history as we face the nuclear risks of 2024 and beyond? First, the importance of robust communication channels between nuclear powers cannot be overstated. Many close calls were diffused through direct leader-to-leader contacts or military-to-military hotlines. In our increasingly multipolar nuclear world, we need to ensure these channels exist between all nuclear-armed states. Second, the role of human judgment in averting disaster highlights the risks of automating nuclear command and control systems. As AI and machine learning play larger roles in military decision-making, we must be cautious about removing human oversight from nuclear systems. Third, the repeated instances of technical malfunctions and misinterpreted data underscore the need for fail-safe systems and rigorous protocols. In a world of increasing cyber threats, ensuring the integrity and security of nuclear command and control systems is more crucial than ever. Fourth, the arms control agreements that emerged from the Cold War demonstrate that rival powers can cooperate to reduce nuclear dangers. Treaties like SALT, START, and the INF Treaty significantly reduced nuclear stockpiles and increased strategic stability. As we face new challenges like hypersonic weapons and the militarization of space, similar cooperative efforts will be essential. Finally, the horror of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of nuclear war. As memories of these events fade, we must work to keep awareness of nuclear risks alive in the public consciousness. Education about the devastating consequences of nuclear weapons use is vital to maintaining the taboo against their use and driving efforts toward disarmament. As we stand in 2024 facing evolving nuclear threats, the lessons of history offer both warnings and hope. By understanding how close we've come to nuclear war in the past, we can better appreciate the ongoing danger and the urgent need for continued efforts to reduce nuclear risks. The fact that we've avoided nuclear war for nearly 8 decades is a testament to human restraint and diplomacy, but it's not a guarantee of future safety. Only by remaining vigilant, fostering international cooperation, and working tirelessly toward arms control and eventual disarmament can we hope to ensure that nuclear weapons are never used again. The role of individual action. While the threat of nuclear war can feel overwhelming, individuals can play a role in reducing this risk. Stay informed by educating yourself about nuclear issues and current geopolitical tensions. Engage with policymakers by contacting your elected representatives to express concern about nuclear risks and support arms control efforts. Support disarmament organizations by contributing to or volunteering with organizations working towards nuclear disarmament. Advocate for education programs that teach conflict resolution and the dangers of nuclear weapons. Use your voice to share information about nuclear risks on social media and in your community to raise awareness. Now it's time to hear from you. How concerned are you about the possibility of nuclear war in 2024? What steps do you think world leaders should take to reduce the risk of nuclear conflict? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's continue this crucial conversation.